Full disclosure, it is 2:23 a.m. I am tired with a capital T, but we need content. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Jayla, and today I'm going to be doing the Can't Say I Didn't Try book tag, which was originally started by The Bumbling Blogger, which I will link down below, their original video. And I was kindly tagged in this by Christine and Mo over at the Roomies Digest, and you should totally go follow them because they are precious creatures and I love them dearly. We've got 11 questions here, so let's hop into it before this video gets too long. So the first one is a book that I should have DNF'd, and for this one I'm going to say the Gemini Trilogy, which is not a book, it's a series, but I should have stopped at the first one because it was not good. It was like a 3-star. I have talked very vaguely about my hatred for the Gemini Trilogy on this channel, and I keep saying I'll do like a full video on it, but I probably won't because who wants to hear about that? The fact that I read all 3 books really baffles the mind because there are so many problems that I put it all into a Google Doc and just all of these things that are wrong with it. So I have the material to make a video about this, but do I have the patience? Do I have the eloquence? No. But yeah, that series, I don't know, let me see if I can pick out some gems here. Okay, so one of them is, this is a spoiler, but it's not because none of this book makes any sense and nothing in it really matters. So it is a spoiler, so if you care about that, don't skip ahead to the time that I leave at the bottom of this video. But also, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. There's no context given to it. So under this bullet point it says, so much is left unaddressed, and then this one says, can we talk about how Felicity literally led a hunt on an innocent deer, drove it off a cliff, bashed its head in with a rock, smeared its blood all over her face and her friends, and then we never even reflect on how psychopathic and scary that is. She killed a deer. There's another one that says, one of the problems I had with the book was that Gemma, the main character, uses her magic willy-nilly, as I wrote. And then this bullet point says, she uses magic to get Simon. She uses magic to just have people tell her she's pretty. I hate her. Okay, that's gonna be enough of that for now, but you see my point. Let me know if you want to see that video, because I might actually have to reread the books to make a coherent video on it, and that I have neither the time or the patience for, but I will do it for you people. The next prompt is, what is the most books you've read in a series without finishing the series? And for this one I had 2 answers, and I think they're both the same number, but I read Morning Glories. This is a graphic novel series that's like 8 or 9 volumes long at this point. It's very long. And it makes no sense. It's very confusing. The adults are horrible. The kids are like not kids, they're not teenagers, or at least they, I don't know, they don't act like teenagers. But it takes place in this boarding school, and it's really interesting. Everything is just so messed up. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. And so I was enjoying it, but I was also really confused, and so I kind of stopped reading around volume 4 out of however many, but that's kind of a lot of volumes before giving up. But I don't know, if anyone else has read this series, I would love to hear your thoughts on it, because it's really wild. I could not even try and explain to you what the series is about, because every time it kind of starts its a little plot, it changes, and then it gets bigger, and it was all a simulation. That's not a spoiler, I'm just making that up, but it feels like it was all a simulation. So yeah, it's just a weird series. And then the other 4 books that I read were the Lux series. I have the other one, but it's over there and it's too far away for me to reach. This is the 3rd and 4th, this is the last one, and the 1st and 2nd are over there. But I read all the way up to Origin. This is book 4, I believe, and I was really enjoying the series. It was like a very fun, steamy paranormal romance, and I don't know, Katie was cool because she was like a book blogger, a book vlogger. I think she was actually on Booktube or something, and I was like, oh, this is so cute, like she's so relatable and awesome, and oh, she has a hot boyfriend, it's so great. But by the time I got to the 4th one, I was over the series. I was not having fun anymore. My review on Goodreads is just this, and so that kind of sums up my feelings about this book. So yeah, that's the furthest I've gotten, and I still have like the last one. I still have the last one. I don't know if I'll ever read it. But as I mentioned in my TBR video, my like jar picks my TBR thing, I said that I was kind of over Jennifer L. Armentrout because of these books, but since I have From Blood and Ash now, I'm going to try and give her another chance to not disappoint me, because everyone loves From Blood and Ash. Everyone loved these books too, so I don't know what happened there, but yeah, the magic was gone by the time I got to book 4. That is the furthest I've gotten in a series before I just stopped. And I should have kept going because there was only one more book left, but oh well. A hyped author I just can't get along with is the next prompt, and I'm gonna go with Carrie Maniscalco for this one, which I guess is kind of an unfair one to say because I haven't read any other Carrie Maniscalco books except for Kingdom of the Wicked, which came out in 2020. I personally thought that book was kind of garbage, but it was also garbage that smelled just quite not stinky enough for me to throw it out fully. What is this analogy? Why would you keep garbage regardless of how it smells? But it was still kind of good enough that I want to see what happens in the second one, because so I guess I shouldn't have chosen her. Even though I thought the book was bad, I still am willing to read her sequel. So I guess this doesn't make sense, but I'm gonna go with it anyway because I said it. So I feel like Carrie Maniscalco is extremely hyped up, and she has that whole Stalking Jack the Ripper series that everyone loves. But I've seen plenty of reviews that say like the writing in that book and of Kingdom of the Wicked are basically the same. So I imagine that I really would not like those books, despite them being super popular on Booktube and Bookstagram. So yeah, it's like one of those things that makes me unreasonably mad because I know that Kingdom of the Wicked is rated so highly on Goodreads, and I don't know why, and it pisses me off, but to each their own. You deserve to like what you like. This is a marketplace of ideas, and you are free to put whatever you want into the universe. So I can't get along with her personally, but a lot of people do. Next is a genre I rarely read from, and that would be mystery thriller, which I've mentioned plenty of times on this channel. I really don't read them very often. I've maybe read 1 or 2 thrillers in my life, and the one mystery I've read I hated, which was And Then There Were None. Okay, then a book or edition that I can't get my freaking hands on, and for that one I want to talk about, oh my god, the first book in this stunning Australian luxury edition of The Hunger Games. I have Catching Fire, I have Mockingjay. They are gorgeous and shiny and thick and big and wide, and that's what she said, and I want to find the first book so bad. Like, I went to great lengths just to find these, because when I looked 2 years before, I couldn't find them. 2 years later, I just found them in like 2020, January. Oh my god, I've had you for like a year now. Happy anniversary, you guys. But I found these in 2020. I was so happy because it was like this obscure website that I got, like they were in like New Zealand or something. And I would love for that to happen for the first book, but I just can't find it. I haven't checked in a while. I understand because it's the first book, it's probably going to be the hardest to find, but it is infuriating how close I felt like I've been at some points, only for it to be a dead end, and it turns out that this is like out of stock, or the person's a scam artist, or blah 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 blah. A book or author who keeps getting recommended to you, but you know you won't enjoy, and for this one, I'm gonna say Pierce Brown. And or Red Rising. I could be very wrong about this, but nothing about Red Rising interests me at all. Everyone keeps saying it's like The Hunger Games, and then it's not like The Hunger Games, and then it is like The Hunger Games again. And I just, like, why can't it just be all Hunger Games? Why couldn't it start out as The Hunger Games? Which I guess it does, because it reminds me very much of like coal mining in District 12 at the beginning. Context, I did try and read Red Rising in December. I was using the audiobook, which really made me hate the book even more, so I just need to like finish it physically with my eyeballs. This man who was narrating supposedly like a 16 or 17-year-old boy just really did not fit what I imagined Darrow or Darrow, whatever his name is, to sound like. And so he just sounded like a 70-year-old Irish man, and I was like, this is not the right fit, and I don't like this. So I gave up on the audiobook. I do need to finish Red Rising. I know that Christine from the Roomies Digest really likes this book. My friend Cindy is the entire reason that I was even trying to read Red Rising, because she loves those books, and she wanted me to try and read them for part of our 2020 challenge that we were doing together, and I failed because I could not finish it. So I know that my friends want me to read this, and they think that I'll like it, but I genuinely have no interest. I don't see myself enjoying this book, and especially if I have to force myself, I'm not going to enjoy it, so I'm trying to avoid doing that. A book which has a better cover in a different language. This is one of the ones I could not think of an answer for. I don't see a lot of books in different languages that I remember thinking are just so gorgeous and better. A lot of the time, actually, the books like the German cover or the Danish cover or the Italian cover, a lot of times they're not actually that good to look at. A lot of times they have like this really generic girl with like her face really blown up on the cover, and you're just like, why did they do this? This is not cute. Next is a book that you've only seen the movie/TV adaptation for, and I honestly couldn't really think of one. Like, I know there are a ton of shows and movies based off of books, but I probably just don't know that they're based off of books, and that's why I couldn't come up with an answer. So let's go with a manga. That would be fun. So Ouran High School Host Club, I believe, has a manga that came out first, and I haven't read that. I rarely read manga. Kiss Kiss Fall in Love, like, it's so cute. I love that show. It's adorable and really funny. I could also say Black Butler, which I know had mangas first, and yes, I watched Black Butler. I feel like anime people roll their eyes at that. I was one of those people. Judge me, I don't care. It's a good show. It's really fun. Next is a book you wouldn't watch if it got adapted, which is just an interesting question to ask. I feel like for this one I'm gonna go with From Twinkle with Love by Sandhya Menon, but there's actually a When Dimple Met Rishi adaptation on Netflix currently. I've started watching it. It's like, I'm in like 3 episodes, I'm not very far, but it's really cute so far. I'm really enjoying it. I loved the book. However, if I had the choice to tell like producers, don't do the next book, it's terrible, it's trash, I would tell them that. Because From Twinkle with Love, I really did not enjoy that book. I found the main character to be unbearable, really rude, and kind of victimizing herself, even though she was like a biatch, you know? She was not the best character. She felt like she was being dissed by her friends and left behind, but she really was pushing people away often. And yeah, I just don't like characters like that. I would hate to see that one adapted because the character is just someone I would want to punch in the face, and I would rather not have an actress that I hate because she played this one role this one time. Okay, so next is a series that shouldn't have been continued, and for this one I went with A Court of Thorns and Roses. Before you all attack me, it's only because I don't feel like we need to continue the series. Yes, there were some things left open. There was plenty that we could discuss as far as the sisters go, but I don't give a fuck about the sisters. I don't care. I personally got what I needed from the series, even though honestly Aqua War was pretty bad. Did not enjoy that book. I would say maybe we should have just stopped with A Court of Mist and Fury. Obviously that would have been a terrible place to leave off the series, but I would have been happier as a Sarah J Maas fan if I had been left just at that, because yeah, the 3rd book really disappointed me. So I'm not saying that these books shouldn't exist, although I guess I am, because that's what the question's asking, but I personally think we did not need A Court of Silver Flames. I could live without A Court of Silver Flames. I had already kind of written off these books. I have not read A Court of Frost and Starlight yet, and especially hearing how unnecessary and bland and boring that book was. So that's why I chose these. It's not because I'm a Sarah J Maas hater. It's not because I want to ruin your dreams and not let you have the Nesta Cassian, yes, Nesta and Cassian, the Nesta Cassian love story that you're all craving. I won't deprive you of that. I simply, just for me, I was like, I'm kind of mad that I have to go spend money on this. I'm debating if I'm gonna go read the books. I don't know. I kind of am feeling a little bit of FOMO about it, just because it's been all over Bookstagram and people are making vlogs about it, and I'm like, oh, I used to really love this series. Maybe I should go back to it. But I don't know. Maybe I'll read Crescent City first. I've really dropped off Sarah J Maas, so I have a lot of catching up to do, and it's very intimidating at this point. And the last question is a trope that puts you off picking up a book. And for this one, I couldn't really think of a trope that makes me not want to pick up a book. The powerful artifact one, where the characters are all on this quest to find this one thing, or to just have and own this one thing that gives them all this power. I don't personally think I usually mind this. Like, this is not something that'll stop me from buying a book, but like, for instance, in the Shadow and Bone trilogy, they have that in every single book, and I'm like, stop it with the artifacts. Like, I can't take this. This is so much. I had some other problems with the artifact element in that trilogy as well, but we won't get into that here. That's for another video. But yeah, even that I really don't feel is something I hate to see in books, but specific stories like the Shadow and Bone trilogy, I noticed I was like, I want to die. Like, stop. Quit doing this. So that's why that one's my answer. Okay, that has been the Can't Say I Didn't Try tag. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to tag Life Worth Reading Books and Brushes, Jill Harris, and Lou reading things to do this. My camera battery is dying, so I'm going to speed this up really quick, but if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you care about any of the opinions I've stated here or want to share your own, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content from me. That's all. I'm done talking. Don't die. Bye!